Hi everybody, it's Nunu, your friendly teacher guide, and my purpose in this video is to provide an overview of this discussion assignment, Lillian, a 2023 short story by West student, now at Berkeley, Rico Worrell. Now, I need to give you some background information about Rico and his story. His story title is not Lillian. I gave the story that title. Rico was a student in a spring 2023 creative writing class I taught at West. He was brilliant, a brilliant writer. He's the kind of writer that a teacher says, hey, let me just get out of his way, and you just offer him support and affirmation that he's a good writer because he knows what he's doing. So Rico gave me permission to use the story Lillian because I loved it so much, and I wanted to use it for 101, and I was delighted when he said yes. However, he sent the story to me with his biography but no title, and for purposes of easy identification in this class, I went ahead and I titled the story Lillian after the main character. I'm going to probably find out at some point from Rico what he would like the story to be titled, and I'll change the title immediately if he does not like this title of Lillian. I think he's probably busy at Berkeley right now, settling into his creative writing program. All right, I'm going to scroll down and I'm going to go over the assignment directions with you. I'm not going to read the directions to you. I'm going to ask you to do that yourself very carefully from beginning to end. I'm just going to point out key pieces of information. And the first piece of information I want to point out is our class rule: use artificial intelligence, AI, appropriately. So what does that mean? Yes, please use Grammarly.com, any basic spelling, grammar, punctuation checker to help you to identify and to correct any easily avoidable errors in the written portion of this assignment. But please do not use AI such as Grammarly Go, Quillbot, or ChatGPT, which will write or revise your text for you. If you do so, then I won't be able to help you as your teacher guide to help you to build, to strengthen your writing skills. All right, what else did I need to tell you? You have a video response to questions that's due by Saturday, and the questions are right here. Now, how do you make a video response? If you're nervous about making a video response, you've never done so before, let me show you how to do that. You're simply going to go to the What, Why, and How We'll Learn at the beginning of the week. Click on it. And then once you're in there, go ahead and click on Assignment Text, and you'll see two videos right here that will show you two different ways to make and post a video in a discussion. All right, what else do I need to tell you about this assignment? You have a peer evaluation that is due by 11:59 p.m. on Sunday. The directions are right here. I'm not going to read the directions to you except for this last tiny little bit, which is please do not evaluate a posting that has more than 2 peer evaluations. We respond to peer evaluations in a discussion, so don't respond to the first few people in the discussion forum who might end up with 20 or 30 or 3 billion evaluations to respond to. Scroll down in the discussion and find somebody who has fewer than 2 peer evaluations or 0 peer evaluations and evaluate that person's video, and that way we spread the evaluations out evenly in the discussion. Okay, anything else I need to tell you? Yes, I'm over here in inbox. If you have any questions or concerns, you can send me an email or come over here to home. And that's not home. Here's home. Okay, here's home right here, and click on this office hours icon right here, and you will learn my office hours when I Zoom or if I have campus office hours, and we can meet face-to-face in cyberspace or maybe even in person in my office at West. All right, who am I? I'm Nunu. I am your friendly teacher guide. I want your learning in this class to be both meaningful and enjoyable. So have a good time with this discussion assignment.